Jaylen Tyson. First, he did what nobody does in the NBA by telling the rest of the team to shut up or to work, play harder.
Can I set it up?
Set it up,
in case
please.
anyone
Go ahead,
missed
I screwed up. Go ahead.
So, on Sunday,
Yeah.
the Cavs played the shorthanded Celtics and ended up losing. And after the game, Evan Mobley, with a really good game, spoke first. And Evan said, we just got to find ways to play better for 48 minutes. We go through these spurts, and then we have low energy. We go through spurts. But Evan is kind of quiet. He doesn't say a lot, so when Evan talks, it's like, it's Evan Mobley. You listen, but it doesn't have a big impact. And Donovan, historically, since he's been here, has talked after every game. But on Sunday, Donovan was in the corner of the locker room watching another game on his phone, and they brought Jaylen Tyson up to speak with us. And Jaylen Tyson's a second-year guy. It's their first-round pick last year.
Didn't play much last year.
Didn't play much, been in and out of the lineup this year, just came back from a concussion. Had a really good game against Boston, for what it's worth. He took the most field goal attempts on the team. So it wasn't a shock that he was one of the guys talking, but it was interesting at first that he was the guy coming up and not Donovan. And Jaylen, and I'm standing 2.5 feet away, as close as Dustin is to me right now is how close I am to Jaylen, who's usually a jubilant, upbeat, high-energy guy. You can tell was frustrated. And I did the one-on-one with Jaylen before this, or a couple weeks ago. Like, I know Jaylen pretty well, so you could tell something was not right. And the first question Serena Winters asked him, Jaylen responded with, and I forget how exactly how she worded the question, but he essentially said, we're playing on cruise control right now. We can't do that. We haven't proven anything yet to make us think we could play on cruise control throughout the regular season and just flip a switch. It can't just be on the bench guys to bring the energy. It has to be a full team effort. It's the second-year guy.
That is a ballsy comment.
Second-year guy.
The full quote? I have the full quote.
Oh, yeah, I made the graphic. Yeah, I will read you the exact quote. So this is what Jaylen Tyson said, and I quote, I just think we're in cruise control as a team. I think that we're not hungry enough. What happened to us last year, it's a similar thing that's happening this year. Getting ran out the gym, getting beat on the glass, toughness, right? So, I mean, it's just kind of a common theme, and ultimately it's on us to fix it. Later in the interview, he said, we could sit here and say we're frustrated. We're all professionals here. We just got to do our job. Everybody's got to do their job, right? We see it. We talk about it over and over again. We're going to do this. We're going to do that, and then we just don't execute. So that's on us. We got to find a way to win these games.
I love it. I wonder how some of the veterans on this team react because he torched every veteran on this team.
Yep. I have a theory.
Yeah. You think Donovan told him to say that?
Me speculating.
Yeah.
It was interesting Donovan did not talk.
Yeah.
Donovan has echoed similar sentiments to that in the past. This season, he's said enough of times where we can't be up and down. Donovan said, I like the process. It's not always good to be 16-0. Like, you got to go through these ups and downs. I think Donovan, once again, I'm not reporting, this is just speculation.
Yeah.
I think Donovan had enough of, you guys aren't listening to me.
Yeah.
I've said this time and someone else has to.
Who is this directed at specifically?
I think everybody that's not named Donovan is a veteran on the team. I genuinely think I think everyone else on the team, not named Donovan Mitchell, falls under that bucket. And Kenny Atkinson, after the game last night, they beat Indiana, and Jaylen Tyson, by the way, said that on Sunday.
Yeah.
Went out and had 27 points, a career high.
Love it.
Last night.
He said, not only am I going to call you out, I'm going to back up. I'm going to back it up.
11 rebounds. How about 10 of 13 from the floor? The best game of his young career, he backed it up with. Donovan also, by the way.
Had a huge game.
A 40-burger last night.
Yeah.
Kenny texted him before the game, said, I need you to score 40, scored 43. But I think, and Kenny also said post-game that he loved the fact that Jaylen did this. And he said,
I'm glad they asked him
the young guys don't fall into this category. The young guys have brought the energy. He mentioned Craig Porter Jr., Naquan Tomlin, Jaylen Tyson as guys.
Yeah.
That he doesn't put in the bucket of lacking energy and not bringing it on a night-to-night basis. He threw everyone else in the other bucket, including all the veterans. And he didn't say Donovan wasn't included, but Kenny said all the veterans have fallen in this bucket where on a night-to-night basis, they're not bringing enough energy. They're not playing with enough, he didn't say heart and passion, but they're not bringing enough on a night-to-night basis to where we're 12-9, 13-9 after the win last night, that we're happy with that. And the fact that Jaylen called him out, second-year guy. Oh, by the way, it's his 23rd birthday today. Jaylen Tyson and Didi Kinkabala share a birthday. So happy birthday, Jaylen.
Yeah. By the way, do you know that Jaylen Tyson's brother is going to be the best receiver
in the draft
coming up?
I didn't know.
Yeah,
Jordan Tyson, Arizona State.
First-round pick, yeah.
First-round pick.
The fact that he called him out and then came out last night and delivered the game he did, I just think ups his standing in that locker room tenfold.
No doubt. You think there's any players that are pissed right now? I don't care personally.
I get the sense that the way he presents this and also just his kind of demeanor. I'm looking at his personal life background. Like he's got 3 brothers who are football.
Yep.
2 brothers that are football players.
By the way,
Dad played football.
he was
older brother's a strength coach at South Alabama.
And he was a football player
right.
until he got too tall. That's why he stopped
Point
playing.
is, like, he's got a dad who's a football player, brother's strength coach, former football player, younger brother's a stud. Like, he came up in a family where they probably pushed each other.
Yeah.
Give him more minutes, man. He's got the football mentality.
Right.
I like it. I want this guy to play. He's my new favorite player on the Cavs. I want to see him out there all the time.
Right now,
let's go. Give him the minutes.
In my opinion, if everybody's healthy, you can't put him lower than 7th in the rotation.
No, absolutely.
He has to be a guy when everyone's healthy. I don't care veteran status. Jaylen Tyson has to be a guy that's playing 20
and by the
minutes
way,
a game
like
right
if
now.
you say something like that, he put his
Yeah.
cojones out there.
put his balls on the table.
He now has to bring it every night.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And the first night he had a chance,
Brought it.
double-digit rebounds. How tall is he?
6'5".
You getting double-digit rebounds at 6'5"?
He might
and
be.
Donovan had like 8 rebounds last night.
Donovan
big
had an
rebound
incredible
night.
game.
Yeah.
Tyson might be their best or second best perimeter defender.
Yeah.
I would make the case he's their best rebounding guard. Donovan has nights where he's can rebound, but on a night-to-night basis.
I mean, averaging 5 rebounds a game when he doesn't play a crazy amount of minutes.
He did start a bunch of games early.
Yeah, that's true. But overall for the season, like, what's his rebounds per 48 minutes? It's got to be really good.
And you can look it up on Pro Basketball Reference. Jaylen brings an element to this team that you need.
Yeah.
And without Max Strus in particular, because Strus, when healthy, brings the same kind of frenetic energy. It's chaos in a good way. The crazy. Jaylen's not a guy you want to mess with, by the way. Like,
I like it.
And part of the reason I think it may have pissed some people off, but also may not have pissed some people off, is nothing he said was wrong. First and foremost, if you're gonna say something like that, you got to stand on, and you have to be right. Like it's not smart business for a young player to make a statement like that if A, it's not
wrong.
true.
Oh yeah,
and B, if he's not capable of then going out and doing it himself, and Jaylen did it, and he's right, so he checks all 3 boxes.
Do you think this was in particular directed at Mobley and Allen more than anybody else, or no?
No.
Okay.
No. And especially considering Mobley had an incredible game on Sunday.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
It would have been weird that may have been Mobley's best game of the season to then say right after.
All right.
And the other thing is, like, nobody stood up to him and gave him a hard time about it, which tells you he's right.
No.
Yeah.
And once again, Donovan was, we're sitting in the studio. The studio's not big. Jaylen's talking here. Donovan's standing right there watching the game.
Probably like this.
Yeah.
No, he was watching the game.
No, I know, but he's probably watching it, but he's also kind of ears.
And,
know
I,
what's going on.
I get the sense, knowing the Cavs personally a little bit like I do.
Yeah. Are Donovan and Tyson friends?
Yeah.
Like,
friendly enough.
Do they hang out?
You think there's a chance that Donovan's like, yo, Jaylen, you have my permission to go do this?
I think
Yeah.
I think Donovan loved the fact that he said it, and I think Kenny loved it. Knowing Kenny,
100%.
I think Kenny was thrilled. Because Kenny, if you listen to his post-game press conferences, even pre-game, he's still awesome with us, with the media. He's got a different tone this year than he had last year. Like, you could tell he's frustrated with some of the things.
Yeah, because they're not playing with the same intensity.
And he's gone out of his way to not call out anyone individually, but talk about how they haven't been good enough. They haven't coached good enough. There are certain things within the structure of what they want to do from both an offensive and a defensive side that haven't been up to par.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is, it's a process. Like, they had one possession last night against Indiana. They played incredible defense for 23.7 seconds. And then Andrew Nembhard hit a 33-foot 3 at the buzzer.
Yeah.
The process was terrific, right? So a lot of the things that Kenny says is, we have to trust the process. We've changed a lot. It's a work in progress. But the progress that we're making is taking way too slow for us to be where we need to be to win a championship or to compete for a championship. Yeah. And I have a gut feeling, and I haven't talked to anyone.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people in that coaching staff, in the locker room and on the coaching staff, that could not have been happier with Jaylen for, frankly, having the balls to say what he said. Because it takes a lot. It does. You've been in the locker room before.
No doubt.
For a young guy to say that,
yeah,
that's not easy.
By the way, can I throw one other thing in here that has nothing to do with the Cavs? I got to say.
Is it the rest thing?
No, we'll say that.
Say that, because I just want to hear Dustin say that.
All right, go ahead. Tell me what you were going to say there.
For a young guy to say that, like, what does that do for a young guy in a locker room situation like that, Dustin?
What does it do for him, or what does it say about him?
Say about him, yeah.
Well, it says he's obviously very confident in himself, and he's confident in his place on the team. Like, he knows the guys better than we do. Like, he knows what he's going to say. Like, I wouldn't. For instance, Minnesota, where I was drafted, right, in 2005. I was a rookie. I wouldn't have said a word on that team. Because even though they were like, not the best guys, and I probably could have said something, I wouldn't.
It was your spot.
I'm smart, and I knew my role. And I think he sort of knows his role, and he understood he has an opportunity. And I do think Donovan said something to him to get him to engage the conversation and bring it up. It empowered him, I think, in a lot of ways.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love it. If Donovan was involved, I mean, clearly he felt strongly about it. It wasn't like Donovan just out of the blue said, "Hey, Jaylen, I need you to say this."
Or, by the way, Jaylen went to Donovan and said, "Hey, man,
that's certainly possible.
I think we need to be tougher, man. What do you think?"
Absolutely.
And Donovan's probably like, "You know what? Why don't you say something?"
Yeah, rip the team. Let's go.
So.
Donovan said both, because I got Donovan's comments from last night.
I was saying to Mike before the show that I am a very big fan of Dillon Brooks, who everybody hates.
I heard you when I was walking to the bathroom. You were talking about it.
Because he's the only one that doesn't, not the only one, but so many players in the NBA seem like, or the league and the media kiss LeBron's ass so much. And I get it. LeBron's awesome. He's one of the all-time greats.
And he's got all these handlers and stuff. I've heard guys talk about this. Maybe it was Pat Bev or one of the podcast guys. It was talking about how he's like, "Yeah, you don't talk about LeBron. Like, you'll get a phone call. Or someone meet you in a back alley."
I love that Dillon Brooks is not afraid of LeBron.
He's not afraid at all.
And he said, I read a quote from him. He's like, "Guys are too friendly." Has that old. Listen, I get he's not a great player, whatever. He's just a good player. And LeBron doesn't. LeBron can say whatever he wants. He totally gets under LeBron's skin.
100%.
Drives him crazy. He hates the guy. He'll pretend he doesn't care, but he 100% cares. LeBron is very sensitive. There's no doubt about it. He's bothered by all this stuff. And Dillon Brooks is like, "I don't want to be friends. I'm going to talk trash. And what are you going to do about it?" He don't care. And I love that.
I found what Donovan said post-game, and it ties back to the Jaylen Tyson.
Go ahead.
So he was asked afterwards by Serena Winners, and by the way, Don
yesterday.
After last night's game, the win. And he had 43 points. He was 16 of 27 from the floor.
Yeah.
Asked about the game. Quote, "Honestly, this is what we should be doing. I don't think this is anything to celebrate. We should be coming out here doing this all the time, and that's what's disappointing about our last 3 games." She followed up, "What was the biggest difference?" Ready?
Yeah.
Quote, "Energy, effort, and we competed." End quote.
Yeah, right.
If that's not a direct response and/or add-on to what Tyson said, you find me an easier way to connect the dots.
Yeah.
So,
maybe Jaylen Tyson got them going.
I wonder, I didn't think of this till right now.
How much you love Dillon Brooks?
No, that's nothing. But if Donovan did go to Jaylen, or if they had any kind of communication, or even if Jaylen went rogue and decided to do this on his own, this is a team with a ton of veterans. And you got a second-year guy stepping up and taking on a leadership role to where he feels the necessity to say what he said. I don't know if it's more of that's awesome for Jaylen, and that's great to see a 23-year-old taking that responsibility this early on in his career.
It's also a negative.
Or if it's a negative that other guys who are more veteran, have more status in this league, who don't or haven't taken that approach yet. And I honestly don't know. I'm just kind of thinking through this as we go. I kind of lean towards it's more of a positive for Jaylen than a negative on others, but I think you can make a case that it goes both ways at the same time.
I would love to know the reality of do players, what percentage of players care about winning every game? You think every player cares?
Well,
I think you care
during
about
the regular season.
Yes, I think you absolutely want to win every night, but I also think that there's a part of you that can accept. There's so many games.
Yeah.
It doesn't eat you up inside the way that a football loss would.
Right.
You know what
okay,
I mean?
That makes sense.
Do you remember when Donovan first got here? And Jason, I believe, wrote it on. He's mentioned this on the show numerous times. He asked Don, would you ever punt at the end of the game to see other guys take over in the fourth quarter?
Right.
And Don said in his first year here, no, I got to win every game.
Right.
And then later, and last year in particular, Jason asked that same follow-up, and he said, we got to see what some guys can do late. Yeah. So that's at least Donovan's mindset into that, which is...
Yeah, that's different, though, because Donovan still wants to win. I wonder if there's some players in any sport that just don't even care. It's probably not a lot, but I bet you there are some.
Probably.
There has to be.
Right?
They're getting paid a ton of money.
There are some guys that probably don't like their position on the team. They don't like the coach. They don't like their teammates. And maybe they don't love the game. Maybe they've burnt out on playing basketball or football or whatever it may be. And to them, it's just a check.
Yeah.
Just like we've been in jobs in our lives or in situations where you're 1 foot in the parking lot.